this weekend, I completed the Italian Stallion Challenge. Hello, welcome to my channel. I am Anna, I'm 31 years old and I live in Philadelphia, and welcome to my chaotic life. This week we are going to be cleaning up a very messy house. We're going to take on the Rocky race with my sister who's flying in from North Carolina. So let's get to it. I'm going to go on my first run of the week, then I'm going to clean up my house and maybe do some grocery shopping to be prepared for everything that I have coming tomorrow. And so I hope you guys join me and I hope you enjoy. Okay, so I'm almost ready to head out on my run. Just a brief catch up. My sister and I are training for the Rocky race. So it's an annual event that happens in Philadelphia, and it's basically two races in one. It is a 5K first thing in the morning, and then after that there's the 10-mile race. You can choose to participate in the 5K or you can choose the 10-mile race, or if you're a little bit crazy, you can choose to participate in both, which is called the Italian Stallion Challenge. And basically you're running the equivalent of a half marathon, except for that it is broken into those two races and you don't get to just run it all the way through. You run the 5K, which is like in a loop, I believe, and then you run the 10-mile, which has the same starting place, and you go through the corrals a second time. So it has its own little fun twist on the traditional half. It is my sister's first time doing a half marathon. It is my second time. I'm really excited and my sister's really excited, but both of us have had little snags in our training. She's more of a trail runner, so it's going to be interesting for her to see how it goes. Her training schedule has fallen to the wayside a little bit due to getting sick and having a running injury. And then, yeah, I don't know, I'm so proud of her, and it takes so much gumption to keep going after an injury. And I know no matter what, we're gonna make it a really fun trip for her here in Philadelphia. And I'm just so proud for her to keep trying, and it definitely spurs me on to want to keep trying too. And I hope it spurs you on to want to keep trying. So let's go get this run. I'm not sure at this point if I'm going to be able to get to the store, but I need to buy some ingredients for a little project that I want to show you guys how to do in preparation for my sister getting here. So hopefully I have time to do that. If not, I'm going to clean up my apartment, which has gotten kind of crazy. It's Wednesday, November 6th. So yeah, here we go. Let's get this run on and get this night on the roll. Let's get this night going and see what we can accomplish in just a couple hours. Okay, so I did the run. It's definitely too late to go to the grocery store, but I'm gonna go shower and then get to cleaning, so still gonna make it a really productive night though. Thank you so much for joining me, watching my vlog. I'm really excited to have you here. I hope that you enjoy, and that if you do, please like, subscribe. It really helps my channel, and I'd love to have you come and hang out with me again. This week has been a really tumultuous week. My sister and her husband flew up from North Carolina, and we all took part in the Rocky Run, and we actually all participated in the Italian Stallion Challenge. Really, I originally wanted to make this vlog to bring you along on this Italian Stallion Challenge, but considering everything that happened this week, and it was the election on Tuesday, which was very emotional for very many people, and I was one of them. And I realized that it was the perfect opportunity to think about everything that's going on as a challenge, something that each of us can play a part in, not allowing things not working out the way that we believe that they should, to stop us from continuing to play our part in making a more equitable, a more loving, and a more just world. I use this video as an exercise to force myself to focus on what's actionable, what I can actually do. I spent time with the ones I love. I did challenging things and it was amazing. You know, there's a lot of uncertainty ahead, but the one thing that we can be certain of is we can make a difference. We can continue to be our best selves and to bring our best selves out into the world. We can do so much to make this world more beautiful. Just getting ready to head out the door. Had a pretty crazy, really busy day at work. My sister's arriving in the morning. So I want to go to grab some ingredients that I need for the little surprise that I want to make. So I'm gonna head out the door. I think I'm gonna go to Whole Foods because I'm hoping they'll have what I need, and then I'm gonna bring you guys along as I cook up a storm in the kitchen. Okay, so that did not work out at all. I got to Whole Foods and they did not have a single thing that I needed. So this is exactly what this video is about, you guys. When things do not go your way, and what are you gonna do? I'm gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay. And I am going to pivot and focus on something else because I can't change the situation that I'm in right now. And honestly, I feel a little cheesy saying all this, but just thinking that throughout this whole creation of this video has definitely been putting me in a much better, more positive mindset. I mean, it's working a little bit of magic. I want to just make the most of it and stay positive. Okay, this is actually crazy. After everything, after I biked to Whole Foods and couldn't find what I needed, just stayed positive about it, my husband was like, Anna, I think you might have what you need in the cupboard. And I looked, and I do have what I need in the cupboard. So what I'm going to make is homemade pasta. I think this is enough. If this isn't quite enough, then I'll just add in a little bit of all-purpose, and I think it will still turn out really, really well. But I think this flour is the secret recipe to really good texture for your homemade pasta. So actually I don't have eggs either, but my wonderful husband actually just ran to the store, so I think I'm gonna be able to make this tonight, and I'm so happy because it will just make everything so much easier tomorrow. And look what happened. We kept a positive attitude and we ended up, things didn't turn out as we thought they were going to. The recipe for this pasta is really simple. You need 2.5 cups of double O flour. Then you'll have 3 whole eggs and 2 egg yolks, half a teaspoon of lemon juice, half a teaspoon of salt, and just a pinch of granulated sugar. You'll want about 1 teaspoon of olive oil. And what you'll do, mix your dry ingredients together, then pour it into a little circle and make a well in the center. So once you have your well, you'll pour your eggs, which will be the 3 whole eggs and 2 egg yolks, into the well, and slowly and carefully start to whisk the eggs. You'll break the yolks with your fork and whisk slowly and carefully, slowly bringing in that flour and incorporating it into the eggs. And as you incorporate the flour, the dough will get a little bit stickier, a little bit firmer, and you'll go ahead and knead it for a while. You want to be able to press the dough and it bounces back, and you want it to be nice and supple. Once you do that, go ahead and wrap it in some saran wrap and let it rest for around 20 minutes at room temperature. After that, you're good to go. You can go ahead and roll it out. I did roll this out the night before and sprinkled it with semolina flour, but I will say I think it dried out a little bit, even though I was pretty generous with that semolina flour. So it really is best if you can go ahead and cook this the night you make it, I think. But yeah, I hope you enjoy some hearty pasta. the big guys first.
That would be 2 minutes for them.
This weekend, I completed the Italian Stallion challenge. Check out these crazy finisher medals. This is 10 miles, the 5K. This is the Italian Stallion challenge. Today's video is about not giving up. Look at this. I've never seen such like a crazy medal before. It like spins and everything. Thanks for watching today. I just wanted to have a little chat, tell you all about my experience running the Italian Stallion Challenge this weekend in Philadelphia. I'm gonna be all over the place and I want to be a good story from start to finish, organized and everything, so I'll try to stick with the actual timeline. So I started training for this back in early August. Toward the end of August, I got really consistent and just stuck with, I had my run schedule and I did my long runs. The longest run that I did prior to actually the race was 10 miles, and that was the weekend before the race. So I knew that I could do it. So a really fun part about this challenge was that my sister, my older sister, she ran the race with me. She flew down from Philadelphia she flew from North Carolina up to Philadelphia, and we made like a nice little trip out of it together. My sister just started running this year. I've done one half marathon before this, and it was about probably 5 years ago, something like that. Basically, we started training together in the sense that we mapped out the long runs that we wanted to do. She lives in North Carolina, I live in Philadelphia, so we weren't able to do any like practice runs together, but we had our little schedules and we were trying to follow. And so the day of the race, it was crazy. The day before the race, she got in to Philadelphia, so that was Friday morning. We did a lot of walking, which was probably a little bit of a mistake on my end. I just cannot help but drag everyone around all over Philadelphia when they come to visit. There's just so much I want to show them, and we had to pick up our bibs and race packets. So we finally got our bibs and our race packets, and we were good to go home. Went to bed, had a very chill night. We made some homemade pasta. We went to bed kind of early, and bright and early we got up at around 5:30 the day of the race. It started at the PMA Philadelphia Museum of Art, the footsteps, so the iconic, if you know Rocky, the film, then you know these steps. So that's where the race started. We were all like in different corrals, so we kind of split up after we got to the race, did our gear check, and then we lined up and we did the 5K. If you've done a race, you know there's just this energy and excitement and adrenaline, nerves, but I was really determined to not go and run my heart out as fast as I could for the 5K. I wanted to more so hold myself back, use it as a little warm-up. I didn't want to become depleted before starting the 10-mile race afterward. Finished the race, then I was like, okay, I need to drink some water, hit the porta-johns, and then get back in line for the corrals, because basically you finish the 5K, you don't even get your finisher medal, they send you straight back to the corrals. So ran back to the corrals. It ended up being about like 20 minutes or so since I finished the run, the 5K, to when the 10 milers started. Not like that rest time, I was worried about how that was going to impact me, but it really wasn't that bad. You know, I stayed moving around, jumping, doing some stretches for that 20 minutes, and it was actually kind of good. I got to drink some water, go to the bathroom, so that was not that bad. When we started the 10 mile, I started off feeling pretty good. It took me about a mile to start to warm up again, and then around mile 4, I was like, whew, okay, like I have 6 more miles to go. I just wanted to get past that 5 mile marker. I know that I was more than halfway done. And it was actually funny because I was running kind of in the zone. For the 5K, I didn't listen to any music because I didn't want it to encourage me to go faster. But for the 10 miles, I had my music in my ears, I was jamming, and I thought I passed the 5 mile marker. I was like, okay, more than halfway there, we're on the homeward stretch. And then I realized I was approaching the 5 miles. I saw the sign and I was like, oh, this whole last mile or half a mile actually wasn't even hitting 5 miles yet. So that was a little like, I was like, oh gosh, I'm actually more tired than I thought it would be at this point. And then the biggest surprise of all was Mount Draco. I think that's how you say it. Anyway, they had this Mount Draco, and it was hills, and I am not used to running hills. It was rough. I was like dying on these hills, and I didn't even know it, but apparently there's another challenge, which is the first 100 people, or the fastest 100 people on this Mount Draco win a 4th medal, which I had no idea. I was struggling, but made it through. And then it was smooth downhill. It was downhill for a good while, and it felt so good. I was just like such a relief, and I was able to speed up, get back into my stride. For that 1 mile or so of hills, I was really slow, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is gonna wreck me for the rest of the race. I'm not gonna be able to finish. But it really wasn't the case. I slowed down for those hills, then I got past them, and things smoothed out. The best thing is, my husband always comes to cheer me on, but I've never gotten to see him at the finish line. Somehow it's just been like too many people. We haven't caught each other, and I've always wanted to just hear him shouting, you know, Anna, go Anna! And this time I heard him as I was approaching the finish line cheering me on, and it literally just gave me this surge of energy, and I felt like I was flying to the finish line. I was so excited, so fun. So then my brother-in-law and my sister both were running the Italian Stallion Challenge with me.
Runner set!
So I check in with them, and my sister was a few miles out still. She had an injury to her knee, and she was worried she wasn't going to be able to finish it. Me, her husband, and my husband, we all got together and we were like, okay, we gotta go out there, find her, and walk her or run her to the finish line. I was just so proud of her. It was an amazing race for her. It was a definite challenge, especially with injuring her knee during the race. I just have to share the footage. It was so inspiring and so iconic. her finishing and crossing that finish line. It was so much fun, and it was just so beautiful seeing how excited everyone was when she was running by, her American flag blowing in the wind. We're gonna do it again next year. We are gonna make this a tradition where we're gonna run this race together and see how much we can improve every year. And something so fun and special came of it all. It's just one of those lessons of not let obstacles hold you back from working towards something, even if it ends up taking longer than you thought, even if it doesn't turn out exactly the way you imagined it. it's worth it to stick it out and keep working toward it, keep chipping away at your goals and your dreams and what you want the world to look like. Every single day we can make better choices, we can be the best versions of ourselves. I'm really excited for what the future's gonna hold and how we're gonna learn from this, how it will apply to our lives, both in our running training, but in other ways as well. So just don't give up, keep going, set your dreams in front of you and work toward them. You can do it. Well, I don't want to be too sappy, but it was just a really cool week, and all week I had in my mind what I wanted to talk about in this video just because of different things going on in the world, and being very saddened that sometimes things just don't work out the way we think they should, or the world just sometimes feels dark and disappointing, but it's just so worth it to keep that hope in your heart and believe in yourself and also the other people around you. We all are in this together, even when it doesn't always feel like it, and that's the main thing, is just making sure that we are keeping our faith in ourselves and in the people around us and in what the future can be, what we can make it be. Take some time to get through that emotional jolt and struggle when you're really disappointed in the world or yourself or the people around you. Once you allow yourself to feel those emotions, realign your thinking to what your real goal is and how you're gonna get there. And yeah, just don't give up and don't lose hope. We've got this. It's gonna be an exciting future, and somehow every day we're gonna make the world a better place. So that's my cheesy little post-race sermon. I believe in you, I love you so much, and I'm really excited for